Hey, listen to me now. I'm gonna tell you something. If you raising boys, I know you don't want your son to have no concussions. And this ain't no foolproof thing. But I'm gonna tell you what now. You might want to put him in some football. Get him in there young though. Tackle football where they too little to really knock each other out. Get him in there around 8, 9, 10. If he passed that, put him in some taekwondo, some karate. Get him active. Chess and all that, playing chess and piano and all that is okay. It works different part of the brain, but you need to get them active. We got an older brother, older cousin. Have somebody come and do one-on-one training with them. Sit there and watch the training, because you just never could be too sure, never could be too safe. But the feminization, I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds good. We're going to use it. Actually sound bad, but we're still going to use it. Men are becoming more and more feminine. And it's starting at a young age. There is a process in the animal kingdom called imprinting. And a lot of people today, due to gentle parenting, are trying to skip the process of imprinting in the human kingdom. And we need to bring it back. You need to teach your boys. You do not paint your nail. You do not put on your mama or your sister heels. You do not wear makeup. Boys wear blue. Girls wear pink. You need to draw a clear and definite line between male and female. You don't sit down to pee. You sit down to boo-boo. Other than that, you stand up to pee. You hold that thing. You stand up to pee. Don't you ever look at another man's private area. Don't ever let another boy or another man in the bathroom with you. Don't you ever kiss another man on the cheek, on the lips. You shake a man or a boy hand. You shake their hand. You do not kiss on no cheek, on no lip. Because these boys is being turned out at a young age. You got to be careful. They being turned out at a young age. Let your boy be as masculine as he could be. Get you some gloves. I'm about to buy some gloves and get on my knees, and me and Tayden gonna box. Let him feel a couple of body shots. Let him throw some punches and put some headgear on myself so he don't knock me out. But I did that with my oldest son. Man, he rough and tough now. Very aggressive when he got on that soccer field. My younger son, I ain't do the same thing. He not as aggressive. My wife used to get on to me about that. But life had changed, and I had got more busy, and we ain't got carpet no more, got tile now. So things change. But I'm telling you, I was looking at this thing, and it was something about a pastor, I can't remember, Tinsdale or Toondale or some pastor that was just put in position. And pastor was put in position, and not a pastor saying he no longer working with him for whatever reason. But the pastor that was the senior pastor that put him in position, as he was talking, I picked up a little femininity. Don't mean he gay now. Picked up a little femininity. And then Buddy, who had put him in place, he big and swole. Big swole, looked like a former NFL player. Now, what caught me is they said that the man, Swole Buddy, preached the watch night service at Pastor Brady Church, which used to be Potter's House, now called The Bridge, and that Bishop Jakes seen him and wanted to meet him, and he went on over to Bishop Jakes and had a lot of success. And I saw a picture of him and Bishop Jakes hugging real close. Now, if there's any truth to Bishop Jakes being a power bottom, and even if he wasn't, but if it's any truth to the femininity and the homosexual rumors that's out there, this is the type of man, the guy, this Pastor Tundale or Tyndale or whatever his name is, I can't remember his name, but Swole Buddy is what I'm going to call him. He is the type that these men who may have a little femininity in them that they will like. And see, spirits know spirits. I'm going to tell you something now. Spirits know spirits. Because when I spoke at MegaFest, Bishop ain't asked to meet me. He can tell him, my boy, oh, get down. Oh, get down. Listen, I'll be to knock you out. Hit it so hard, you not waking up. You try me with some foolishness. You mean? Listen, I'm not playing the radio with you. But see, this is trickling all the way down to our boys. You look at Dwayne Wade's son. It don't make no sense. You know, you look at Magic Johnson's son. EJ, you ain't seen him? Google Magic Johnson's son. That boy be out here in sheer leggings. That boy be out here in fishnet. He be out here in all kind of stuff. These boys is getting more and more feminine. And I get it at a young age. Sometimes you can't really tell. They you know, the way they walk and all of that. All our sons at times will walk a certain way, stand a certain way. I seen a picture of me when I was a kid. You walk a certain way, stand a certain way. So it don't all mean something like that out the blue. But you got to be careful though. And you got to stay on top of this raising of your son. And see, that's what's happening. So these boys they being left to themselves. And I remember, and I thank God I had the wherewithal. He gave me the wherewithal, because I remember being at one of my cousin friend's house, and the little boy tried to turn me out. I probably could have been 10, and he was 12. Y'all forgive me, I'm around here with my little floss stick. I could have been 10, the boy was 12, or could have been 11, could have been 14, I don't know how old he was. But he tried to convince me to masturbate with him. We was in his room, he had the TV on, I don't know what it was, if it was VHS or if it was a TV channel. I don't know, if back in the day, I think they used to just have a nasty channel that would have like naked women on it or something, real squiggly lines. And he had something on the TV, and you could see like the lines were squiggly though. The little static lines going up. And he was like, yeah, you see them bumps in your forehead? He was like, I used to have some of those. So I could have been 12 or 13. Yeah, I probably was 12, 13 or something. He was like, he said, you know what that is? He said, that's sperm. He say, see, your sperm all the way up to here. That's why the bump got a little white on it. He said, I used to have that. He said, but what you got to do is you got to jike off. So, like, me and you, we could jike off together in here while we watching this. And so we could jike off. And what's going to happen is when you jike off, that sperm going to go down, 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 down. And that sperm go all the way down, and then you lose them bumps in your face. Oh, really? Oh, okay. So you want to jack off? I'm like, no, I'm good. I said, no, I'm okay. I am okay. Like, what is the rush? Nah, I couldn't let on to what I was feeling and thinking. I'm like, I got to get out of here. What the rush? What? Boy. Man, listen. That could have turned into a fight, but see, guess what? My cousin hadn't turned a lesbian. So she had got married to a man. One day she got on his nerve. He hit her with a right hook. Hit in the eye. Bam! She comes to the house, black eye. She comes to grandma's house, black eye. That thing I know she gay. He knocked the scrape right out of her. I said, wow. And they had 2 kids together. That thing you know, her oldest daughter gay. Her first cousin, my other first cousin, he's a guy, he gay. Then had a couple cousins look like they go both ways. Then had an auntie who turned gay. So a lot of people went to turning gay. So I said, okay. So my cousin went over to this lady's house, and it was the lady's grandson. So I think my cousin and the lady started dating. And the lady was, what they call, now they call them studs. I don't know if that was a word back then. Back then, my auntie who turned gay, she used to call them bull daggers. I don't know what a stud is. I don't know what a bull dagger is. I don't know if that was a derogatory term. That was just the name. Bull dagger. So, and then people came up with like dyke and stuff like that. And I be hearing them people call themselves that. So I don't know about the term. So y'all forgive me if I'm using derogatory terms. Y'all forgive me. But, so here go the boy wanting to masturbate with me and his grandma gay. And then here go my cousin over there with her. So I guess they was corroborating in the gayism, because back then it really wasn't that accepted. It wasn't that accepted. It probably was 1994, 1996. So yeah, it was happening and stuff, but it wasn't all that accepted. And so here go this right, and see this right here, think about it now. If I ain't have the wherewithal, if I didn't already know the Lord and had already been crying out to the Lord and already called by God, I could have been in there J.O.ing. For the elderly, that means jacking on. I just made that up. I could have been in there J.O.ing with another boy. So now imagine how many young men done did that. So when you see these men paint their nails and you see these men dressing like a woman, when you see these men done J.O. with their homeboy when they were kids. These men done been touched. A lot of these men have been touched. It's a lot of this femininity going on, and you got to be careful. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't know about a man in your life, a man in your family, come talk to me. I don't know who in your family you can go and talk to, but you come talk to me, and you show me a picture, I'm going to tell you if he got any Splendor, stevia, or sugar cane in that tank. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to tell you, because men know men now. Spirits know spirits. So it made sense to me. I'm like, oh, that's why. I said, oh, that's why they saying all this right here about the bishop. I said, that's why he ain't want to meet me. I said, he already could tell. I don't get down. No, sirree, Bob. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not me. And so I'm going to tell you, you got to listen. Listen. I'm not saying beat your son up, but you need to hit him with a right and left hook. Just a little tap. Put your glove on and just go upside the head a little bit. You probably made him clean his room too many times. He tired of you. He want to get a lick off of you. You got to toughen these boys up. I'm going to tell you, toughen these boys up and get these boys around boys. Get them in football. Get them in, I really won't even say wrestling, because you rubbing all that bat and ball rubbing on each other. I really ain't too much of a fan of the wrestling now. Not that I've ever seen any wrestlers turn out to be on the wrong side of the life, but I feel like I seen a video one time on YouTube or a short or something of the guys who was, I guess they were biked up and went to wrestling, and that thing went to rubbing on their opponent, and that thing, whoosh, that thing shooting out through that suit. They got stuff leaking all out through that suit from that thing getting that pressure, getting that rub up against somebody, and that's how that thing work. That's how it work. It's like the brain don't know that's a man, it just getting that rub up against that thing. And so I really don't trust that wrestling. And listen, there's men who like men in every sport now. So that don't guarantee it either. Even in football, you got gay men coming out in football. But this is what I'm telling you, is this is a trick of the enemy. Because guess what? If a man like men, then he don't want to be with no woman. He don't want to have no kids. He don't want to start no family. He don't want to get married. He don't want to do all that. This is a trick of the enemy. And then the men who do get married and have kids, they argue with the woman all the time. They trying to beat her being feminine. She got to fight him for the mirror. He got her using toys on him. He more feminine than she is. She climbing up on the roof, fixing the roof, his butt in the house, sitting in front of the vanity, plucking the eyebrow before church, while she taking out the trash. And so it's getting bad out here. And I'm going to tell you something that I'm noticing, and I want you to pay attention to this. The devil is busy. He is raising up. I will venture to say right now, out of the known pastors, we got more closet gay pastors and more effeminate pastors than we do masculine pastors. So when Tatum get out the house, he go to college, I might have to step up and open my church to bring back masculinity. And I feel like the masculine pastors are hidden because of the way God does stuff. God doesn't really deal in celebrity and all of that right there. So I feel like a lot of the masculine pastors are just in small churches, inner city, and the devil is taking over the church on earth. Meaning the devil is putting more people in position, and God people are in position, but their church is not growing, and their name not growing because they telling the Bible the way the Bible is, and it's not popular in our society. So you can't grow when you standing on Bible because it's not popular. So you on the narrow road where everybody on the broad road. And if you look around, look at TD Jakes, look at Mike Todd, look at the guy with the glasses, Pastor Tim, I think his name is. Look at who else out there popular. They just got an effeminate spirit, or they have like a Jezebel spirit. Like they don't have discernment. And the women that they attracted to don't be real women of God. And it's a lot going on, and we got to pray. We got to pray without ceasing. Pray for the church. Pray for these brothers. Pray that they get it together. Pray that they find healing, find peace, find repentance, because it's getting bad out here. It is getting bad out here. And you know what I realize is that it's pastors who booked me to come speak at a church, and when I met them in person, it's two of them I'm thinking of just right off. I'm not gonna say their name because they're not in that narrative publicly yet, so I'm not gonna out them. But it was two of them that I met was very effeminate. Just I was like, no, brother. But once they met me, and they look at me and they look at my eye color, and so one of the things with men who have colored eyes is it's expected that you gay, because they think that because you have an eye color, they think that means you feminine. And there may be some. I never met a man with colored eyes who is actually gay, but that's just what people say. Because I got a client who got he light skinned and he got real green eyes. And I remember I was talking to another client, and the guy's name came up, and somebody was like, yeah, man, he look like he might be sweet. And I'm like, dang, bro, you think that about him? What you saying about me? And I remember one time a girl I knew, she came up, she met me. We was at the studio, at my homeboy's studio. He was trying to make music. And she was like, I seen you on Facebook. She said, I thought you were gay. I said, what the world? How the world you gather that from a Facebook picture? Hey, man, she trying me. Hey, you got to get out the studio. What the world? Girl. But back then, they used to, the Hispanic, Hispanics still probably do it today. They used to trim their eyebrows, and you see how much eyebrow, I got enough eyebrow for 3 people. So they used to trim, so I had a roommate that was from New York, and he started taking off all of this on my eyebrow. So I'm just thinking he cleaned him up. Next thing you know, that eyebrow went to looking like that. So me doing that and taking picture in the light, when the light used to shine in my eye would look green or orange. And so him is missing eyebrow, man, I couldn't see myself. Like, but when she pointed that out to me, I had to go back and look at my picture. I'm like, ooh, dude. I said, I'm finna, dude, hey, don't put them clippers nowhere near my eyebrow, boy. I'm finna grow out so much eyebrow. Boy, I want eyebrow down to here. I say, I need all the eyebrow I could get. Y'all not finna have me. You not finna be trying me. And then after a guy saw me in person, and he was one of my clients when I was in the streets, and he tried me, I say, okay, yeah. I say, man, listen, I'm gonna have to do something. I'm finna, cause I can't be going through this now. I'm being took somebody life. I'm like, these boy be to tried me. I'm gonna be out here like Lorena Bobbitt. Be to snip somebody. And so I had to realize it's getting bad out here, man. It's getting bad out here. These boys getting more and more feminine. I'm finna go in here and punch Tayden in the stomach or somewhere when I walk in the house. Just, hey, boy, get to her. Cause man, it's getting bad out here. You seen Dwayne Wade son, who changed to his daughter. And I know Dwayne Wade. I done met Dwayne Wade. I feel bad having to mention a man's name, but I feel bad he going through that, and he got to love his son, daughter. He still got to love the child. And same with Magic Johnson. But see, they were saying stuff about Dwayne. They were trying to say Dwayne might be gay. He might deal with men. He might go both ways. And then, boom, it show up on his son. They were saying the same thing about Magic Johnson, that he was out here doing too much, out there like Martin Luther King. Then boom, it show up on his son. So a lot of times when that's on the man, it might be on the man in the closet. Not saying that Dwayne or Magic like that, but that's just what the rumors was. And so I'm like, man, I do not. This is not good, man. This is not good. And so we got to do our part. Try to get our sons to just, from a very young age, to know the difference. Because I feel like, although they try to say some people are born that way and all that, be that as it may, but I also feel like it's a lot of people being raised sexually confused. There's not a line in the sand. They're not being imprinted. They're not being taught this is what a boy is. This is what a boy does. And a lot of people coming with that gentle parent saying, oh, my son could wear dresses if he want to. He could put on heels. He could put on makeup and all that. Not realizing that a child have to be raised. A child have to be taught, because a child, that boy might go get pink with glitter just because it caught his eye. Not that he want to be a girl. It's just a brighter color. And so the brain is attracted to brighter colors than darker colors. And so next thing you know, he grabbing all, and that's how it is when you see boys. They'll grab things that is pink and purple and all of that, and it's just because it's a bright color. It don't mean that they gay, but we have to then teach them, because otherwise they'll keep going down that rabbit hole. I was with a young man the other day, and he one of my mentees, and he picked up something that was like purple and pink, and I was like, okay. So I just called it chameleon. Because, we used to have the paint job on the car that looked about like that, chain colors. So I'm like, okay, a chameleon. But it just showed me like just the natural the brain is attracted to a color. And we have to do better about that with our sons. And when you look at it, think about how the devil is moving. When you think about this, look at all the choir directors. Almost every piano player and choir director, almost everyone, like you really is now about looking at a unicorn if you see a choir director or piano player or whatever lead singer that give all the way masculine, that you get masculine from him. You never about looking at a unicorn. Be all in the church, up there popping hips, popping lips, snapping fingers, all up there in the church, singing gospel music, and just be the sweet as all out though, sugar cane. And I'm noticing, because I met one time, I reached out to a gospel singer. I really liked the song. A brother reached out to him, and as I went to looking a little closer at how he was standing in his photos, I said, okay. I started sensing something on that spirit. I said, okay, because as soon as I reached out, he reached back out to me. But he only responded one time. And I think he probably went and watched my video, probably felt my energy, probably knew, I don't want to talk to no masculine man. But see, he probably was thinking he finna find him old boyfriend in the faith, like them pastors in Atlanta. And then look at it, we see Jamal Bryant, who appears to be masculine and all of that, and he got a woman, but then he goes out and say the black church need to apologize to the gays. Then he go over to the gay church where it got the 2 gay pastors, if I ain't mistaken. And I can't remember, I think he preached a sermon over there. And they got these gay pastors in Atlanta teaching that, can't remember who it was in the Bible, Paul and somebody, or Timothy and somebody. They were trying to say two of these men was together in a relationship. And then I saw a clip or T.D. Jakes saying something like that, talking about don't nobody fully know their relationship. I said, wow. These men is literally trying to say that God used gay men or possibly gay men. And that just show you where the world going. And see, that's the thing, what y'all know, that's why I say I appreciate your support, because I'm sold out to God. Like, I can't get no corporate deal. I can't get hired by no corporation, because I got to tell the truth. I got to stand on Bible, and there's not a corporation that don't celebrate Pride Week. Like, I'll be canceled so fast. Like, when I really blow up one day, do you know how fast I'm finna be canceled? Man, I'm finna be out here worse than Kanye West. They finna be trying to burn me at the stake because ain't nobody talking like I'm talking. Like, Joe Osteen can't say what I can say. TDJ can't say what I can say. I'm sold out to God. Like, I gotta stand on Bible. And it just like listen, I shake a gay man hand. I done been around gay men at the restaurant or whatever. I'm not a hate crimer. I don't do all of that, but this is spiritual warfare. And the thing about it is, like, I seen a man, somehow this comedian got on my page, and I seen a transvestite. They showed a transvestite. He's sitting in the car, and he boohoo crying. And he talking about a man tried to kidnap him. This is a man, a black man. He looked like a weed head or a drug addict. He got in a head full of weave, so he dressed like a woman. And he's sitting in the front seat of the car, and he crying. And he's like, y'all gotta be careful. Like, it's a white van next to me, and the man tried to put me in the back of the van, and oh my goodness, and I kicked the door so hard. I had to kick the door so hard. And then the comedian, he comes in. He cuts in there. He's a light-skinned comedian. He got space in every tooth. and he from New Orleans. He got an accent like New Orleans. I think he from New Orleans. So he pops in, he cuts in the video, he plays a little and he cuts in the video, and his tagline is what he says. I know you lying. He say, "What, boy? Don't nobody want you, but we can't get you away. Don't nobody want you. You ought to be. What you need to do is get on one of them little rolling things that you lay on and you roll up under the car and try to hook onto somebody's car and catch a ride somewhere. We can't get you away. Boy, I know you lying." And that's and that thing right there, I say, okay, see there? That's where the spirit is. See, this spirit is messy. This spirit is attention seeking. That's why so many of the gossip bloggers, so many of male gossip bloggers are gay. Because the spirit is attention seeking. The spirit is fighting and trying to bust out of there. So they got to get attention. They got to get known. You really don't really meet quiet gays. You really don't meet behind the scenes gays. Like the men who is publicly gay, they always be attention seeking or they be messy. And man, I gotta tell you, because this attack is not gonna be on your sons. And they finna be trying to raise gay boys. I don't understand what it's like to be a gay woman or nothing like that. But I know what it's like to be a man. I don't know what it's like to be no gay man, but I know what it's like to be a man. And this right here is a attack on marriage, on manhood, because what the devil want to do is he want to turn men out so that men are no longer men, so that men are not husbands, so that men are not fathers, so that men are not raising strong, confident, heterosexual boys. And it's now an attack in the music. Like you look at Lil Nas X, Tyler the Creator, Frank Ocean. At one point they used to say Young Thug was gay. Like it's so, and now they saying a lot of these rappers is gay. You look at P. Diddy. I hear all he doing with these men. Like they taking even masculine men. They were trying to say P. Diddy and Meek Mill was hunching, and that they had the audio. So it's like they taking all of these so-called masculine men, and these men is in the men. These men doing stuff with men. And some of the stuff we'll never hear about. Some of the stuff will never come out. But I want you to look at it and I want you to pay attention. You'll see that. And then look what Jussie Smollett did. Jussie, Jussie Smollett. And get Netflix for 1 week and watch the Jussie Smollett documentary if it's not on YouTube. And see how this man is a gay man. And he done staged this hate crime. Jussie. And then, so when I seen the black man, so here you got light skin acting up and you got dark skin acting up. You got homosexual male acting up, then you got transvestite acting up. So I seen what Jussie Smollett did. So when I seen the black buddy today, I said, now here go Muskie Smollett. So you got Jussie Smollett and you got Muskie Smollett staging hate crimes. Well, Jussie staged the hate crime and kidnap. And it's like, listen, Jussie, you barely could act. Denzel is the only actor who could have pulled that off. It's like, Jussie, we could tell you is lying. We could tell you are lying, Jussie. And this is what I'm calling the Jussie Smollett syndrome. We could tell you lying, boy. That's why your sister not in that documentary. Because your sister know you. Your sister will raid with you. She know you been attention seeking since you was a little one. So that's why your sister ain't in that documentary taking up for you. Well, she could have been in there late. I had to cut it off. I said, this making my stomach hurt. I said, this man staged a hate crime. Like, who in Chicago walking around down the street with a noose? Hey, you N-word. What? You barely black. At nighttime, I'm think you white. Them white men more tan than you will. Talking about, they said, hey, this is MAGA country. Jesse, what? These white people is scared of black people. They not finna walk up, cause everybody know everybody got guns. You come up on me, hey, this MAGA country, I'm gonna shoot you right in your face. Everybody know that. Ain't nobody doing that. It's like, come on now, not no broad middle of the street light. And then they got the black buddy on the documentary. He like, man, I believe, I was furious. And that thing, I kind of find out. This man hired these two brothers, and the brothers is on the documentary telling about being hired. So now you got two people. Wow, what do these men finna come on here and lie about? Say he paid them $3,500 or $2,000 or $2,500, $3,500. This and Justin told him, this is what you got to do in Hollywood. You'll understand one day. So they were like, well, bump it. Let's do it. He finna pay us. We ain't got nothing to lose. And we can use a little bit of money. You're like, let's do it. So they kidnapped him. They fake beat him up. They beat him up and not kidnapped. They beat him up and did whatever in front of the camera so he could get some footage. And I say, but see, it be that attention seeking. So Jussie felt unseen. And that's what lead a lot of these boys to be gay. Get your son out the room. Get him in the living room. Get him playing board games. Get him watching Netflix out in the public. Get him out the room. Get him off that phone by himself. When he on that phone, have him beside you. Because they get on that YouTube and they end up watching gay men. And they watching these men put on makeup. They watching these men act all feminine. And that, all that right there, energy to a child is going to be more entertaining and intriguing than a heterosexual man. When they looking at this thing that look like a man in certain ways, but also look like a woman in certain ways, to your 8-year-old boy, he is very intrigued. He confused. So when he looking at that man, what's his name, Charlie Stone or Jamie Charles or something, and he's like a man and he wear makeup, and I think he's supposedly slept with some celebrity men or something like that. It's a white guy, and he got a makeup line or a makeup deal, because my niece used to watch him, which I wasn't too much worried about her because she's a girl. But boy, listen, boy, I would have broke the phone if one of my sons were watching him. And he be on there putting on makeup. I done seen the video about 30 seconds of, oh yeah, I want to have the makeup on. Hey, what? Boy, who raised you? Get off the internet. What is you doing on the internet? And that's how these, and that's what I'm telling you, these boys is watching that stuff. So now, your son coming home, yeah, mom, like, someone kidnapped me after school and I had to, like, uppercut. Your son come home in the stage, the hate crime. You already know he lost. You know right then you done lost him. You done lost him. Right? You done lost him. Jussie Smollett 2.0. Just dump a bottle of olive oil on his head. Make him bathe in some Epsom salt, something. I don't know what you're gonna do about it, but you got to love them through it. That's why you got to have proactive and preventative parenting. You got to rough your son up. You got to get your son out there. And there's some boys that be like, oh, my dad trying to get me to play football, and he tried to beat the game out of me, and it just didn't work. I was just born this way. All right, God bless you. Keep your head up. But listen, so start toughening them up at one then. What they don't realize is a lot of people don't look into the history of these boys. They weren't born gay. Around 3, 4, around between 4 and 7. They was with their girl cousins. They was with their sister. They was around their mama. They seeing nail polish. They seeing finger paint. They seeing makeup. They hearing their girl cousins and their sisters talk about boys dang-a-lang, talking about this boy fine, that boy fine. So they start to see life through the lens of a woman. So now they keep hearing their sisters or their girl cousins or their mama and their grandma and their auntie talking about this man fine, this man fine. Oh, he's so good looking. So now they looking at this male and they like, oh, that's fine. That's what hot is. That's what sexy is. That's what a hunk is. That's what is. And see, I studied this because I'm always been a studier, and I started because I had a homeboy who I didn't know. I had two homeboys. And there was another boy, he wasn't my homeboy, but he was the same area, who they all turned out to be gay. So I knew them since we were knee-high to a grasshopper. So I started to look back and look into this. And one homeboy, he had 4 sisters and a mama. So I said, you know what? Just being around all that femininity and having feminine conversations, and his sisters, they was fast. So they out there hunching, they sleeping around, they talking about this boy ding-a-ling, that boy ding-a-ling. I said, that's all he heard. He wasn't never around no boys to where he could hear the boys like, hey, she bad, boy. Hey, she fine. Hey, I want her. Hey, there. So he start to live like a girl, think like a girl, see the world like a girl, and then became gay. Well, it's not born that way. A lot of these boys are not born gay. They are raised gay. And what's happening is because of parents having to work and the kids being absent, these boys is finding porn at a very young age. And just being a kid, they not just finna look at the woman. So they looking at the man. They looking at the man angle-lane. They looking at the man length. They looking at the man girth. They looking at this man. And so these young boys, they starting to get into that. And then sometimes they'll go from that to playing sports, and now they in the locker room looking at other boys' booty, angle-lane. I was speaking to a team the other day, and it was a boy that was college. He came out the locker room and went to the bathroom to change. I used to do the same thing in college. And the coach like, man, you still ain't comfortable changing around your teammate? Absolutely not, coach. Like, hey, some of these boys like the booty watch. Hey, no, going right away in the bathroom. And it was guys on my football team, they'll get butt booking naked and be walking around like, bruh, man, put some clothes on, man. Put that thing up, man. Nobody want to look at that. And black, white, they just got comfortable. I was like, no, boy. I know these bosses is soaking wet, full of sweat, but these bosses not coming off. I'm taking these football pants on. I'm putting these shorts or these jeans or whatever I wore here on top of these wet, sweaty bosses, and I'm going to my dorm room, and then I'm getting me a towel and going to take me a shower, and I'm taking them wet drawers and put them in the wash machine. I'm not finna pull these drawers off. They'll put on some more drawers or in the locker room with you looking at booty. Absolutely not, sir. You around here meat watching. No. And then some of them went to comment. Oh, man. You need a microscope to see that thing. What you got going on, man? You not ashamed of that little thing? And then some of the black boys, man, you got an old horse leg down there, man. What is that? Look like a baby arm. What is going on? I'm like, what the world? I'm like, I got to get out of here. Absolutely not. What the world going on? Y'all boys is doing the most. And then I had a girlfriend in college. She said, yeah, do you know 40% of NFL players gay? I said, where did you get this statistic from? But as I went to thinking about it, I said, hold on now, that's 4 out of 10. I said, we got 95 guys on our team. Out of every 10, I said, I probably could see how that could be true. At least 20%. I said, something going on now. But see, that is a spirit. People think that's a DNA. People think that's a chromosome. No, that's a spirit. That's why God says what he says about it in the Bible. That's why he burned down Sodom and Gomorrah, because God is saying that is of Satan, and that is to destroy the fabric of society. And that's why you see more and more and more. And this ain't about hate. It's just about, if you got to raise a son, you need to imprint your son. You need to draw a line in the sand. You need to have your son understand the difference between a boy and a girl, a man and a woman, what a boy does, what a girl does. A boy's role in the world, a girl's role in the world, a man's role in the world, a woman's role in the world. You have to teach, because if you just let the human brain just wander and just do what it want to do, I guarantee you, Dwayne Wade was so busy and Magic Johnson was so busy that their sons was just being raised by nannies, they mama and nannies, or they stepmama and nannies. Well, Dwayne, not Magic Johnson, because he been with his wife, but they was raised by nannies. Guaranteed, the nanny is a woman. And then if they got sisters or whatever, they just round nannies. So next thing you know, outside of that, they just on YouTube. And I guarantee they bumped into that man, I think his name James Charles, and they went to looking at these transvestites on YouTube doing makeup. I guarantee you. And I guarantee they start to identify with these people. They start to like these people. They start to feel like this their friend. And they start to get influenced by that. I guarantee you. And if it wasn't that, I guarantee they were touched by somebody at a young age. Playing house. Touched by somebody of the same set. And it turned them out. See, when you really look into these people's story, it ain't that they were born that way. It's that they was raised that way. They didn't have the proper parameters around them. And I know of a young man who now dresses like a woman and switches hips like a woman, wears hair like a woman, wear makeup and eyeliner. I know of a young man, and his mama, I bumped into his mama one time, and I went by her for 5 minutes. And somehow she told me that when he was young, they used to leave him at people's house. They needed help, and he got touched. And that's why he is how he is. And it could have been because she heard my message online and heard what I be saying, and she confirmed it. That her son wasn't born that way. Her son was touched at a young age, like before the age of 5 or 7, touched at a young age, and it turned him out. He started to desire the touch of a man. Started to feel like he supposed to be touched by a man. And that's what be happening to these boys. And this thing is very serious. And it could be the same thing for girls. I don't know. You know, I grew up around boys. And it just, and a lot of times, like the gay girls, it was because they just had certain features that they just looked masculine, and they couldn't get a boyfriend, and so they just would adapt to what they could get, and they would hang around boys a lot and stuff, or they was like athletes, basketball players and stuff, and so they would be around the boys so much they would again start to identify with boys, and then they would become so masculine that they become unattractive to the boys, that they start to then be almost like the boy to the girls. And then the next thing you know, and some of them had boyfriends, some of them had to have sex with boys, some of them even had kids with boys, and then they end up with a woman. And when you look at it, like a lot of the women that's lesbian, a lot of them can't say they was born that way. They was around it, they got acclimated to it, they got comfortable with it, they got more and more distant from guys, they got less and less attraction from guys, and they started to feel attraction towards girls. And it just happened. And this ain't about hate. It's just about understanding the raising, the rearing, the environment, and how those things affect. I remember talking to a lesbian, and she was working for me in a capacity and a service. And she was talking to me one time, and we was talking about that. And I said, do you think you was born gay or you was raised gay? And she said, my dad wanted boys. So he raised me and my sister like boys. He said we dressed like boys, we played sports like boys, we did everything like boys. She said, so eventually I just started to act like a boy. and boys have girlfriends. So I just wanted a girlfriend because I felt like a boy. And then I remember when I went on the show, on the VH1 show, they had a gay couple on there, lesbian couple, and one of the ladies, she presented like a man, and the other one presented like a woman. And off the camera, well, they had us mic'd up all the time, but they didn't have a camera on us. And I was sitting by, and I'm inquisitive, and I asked, I said, do you feel like you was born gay or you was raised gay? I'm gonna confront the spirit now. And she said, She said, She said, you know what? That's a good question. She said, you know what? She said, well, my dad wasn't in the home. So I had to become the man of the home. So I started to present as a male because my dad wasn't there. And I had to protect my mom. And I had to protect my younger siblings. So I had to be tough. So I had to go out and I had to be the man of the house. I had to do what I had to do to get money. And I can't remember if she alluded to criminal activity or anything. She was like, but I had to do what I had to do to get money. And so she was like, you know what? So she said, it's a good possibility I was raised gay. Like I became gay because I had to present masculine. The producer, Tony, hush. Tony, will you stop talking? Will you stop asking all them questions? Tony, because I want to get to it now. Hey, I'm the co-host. AJ was the host, but they realized, when the camera not on, the mic's on, but Tony is here inquisitive. Tony need to be the head of this show. Tony need to be the coach on this, the lead coach, because he really around here pulling back layers. And so I asked both of them women that. And I know other women that I'm cool with, like, that are lesbian. And I realized events in life is what led them to a lesbian. They was not always lesbian. They used to be into boys. They used to have sex with boys. They used to do it. Some of them have kids. And life beat them into lesbianism or turned them into lesbianism. So we have to understand that this is not physical. This is spiritual. This spiritual. And I can't argue with nobody who say they was born that way. And as early as they remember, they don't remember no event happening that kind of would have pushed them that way. I can't argue with nobody on that. But based on my studies, I could identify the event or the events that turn somebody onto their own gender. And if you really study it, you'll start to see what I'm talking about. And listen, this taboo. And I'm talking about this on the World Wide Web. When they get ready to cancel me, it ain't gonna be hard. It is not gonna be hard. Tony Jackson said there. And they're gonna have me on CNN and Fox News, and you're gonna see me on there standing 10 toes down. You're gonna see me on there. Yeah. Boy, you nasty. Boy, tell the truth. Boy, you need therapy. Boy, you know you were touched as a child, and you need to tell the truth. That grown man touched on you, and from then on, you've been like this right here. Tell the truth. You was on YouTube, and you found that man dressed like a woman putting on makeup. Tell the truth. You was around your all girls, all sisters, mama, grandma, auntie, and always in their mouth, always in their conversation, and you start to see life through the eyes of a woman. Tell the truth. And see, when you really peel back them layers, you start to see that a lot of these people was raised that way. Not born that way. And this right here, and so I'm sharing this with you so that you will be very intentional with your children. That you will give your children guidance, give them structure, give them safety. You have to do what you have to do so that you don't have to be leaving your kids at random people's houses, because these spirits is on the loose. You dropping your child off to your mama house, and your mama got a bunch of people in and out her house, and at her house it's not just your child and your mama, somebody could be touching on your child. You need to have a watch on your child that got the audio where you could hear. You need to go, whoever house you leaving your child at, you need to invest in a nanny cam and tell your mama or your sister, your brother, your cousin, whoever it is, say, hey, I'm going to put a nanny cam up in the room where he or she gonna be. Because when kids left to themselves, they go to playing house. Oh, you ain't finna put no cameras all throughout my house. You ain't finna be spying on me. You ain't finna be doing all that. Listen, it ain't about you. It's just about safety. You might be tied up. Like, it was a great father that son just walked out into the pool and died. A white couple, famous TikTok couple. The woman, the wife went out for a girls' night, left her son home with his dad, his very loving, kind, caring, protective dad. The dad was watching the game and went to bet on the game and was placing a bet. And the son had slipped away, slipped out the back door, was gone for 9 minutes. After the first 2 minutes, son had done got into the pool, fell into the pool, and drowned. The son was in the pool, I can't remember, it was like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 7 minutes, or something like that. Up to 10 minutes in the pool before the dad realized the son wasn't in the house. Dad go out there, the son done drowned. Get the son out. I think the son was pronounced dead when he got to the hospital, or could have been dead on the scene. Because dad got distracted. This is the boy's own father. This is a good man, a good father. And look what happened. So you got to let whoever watching your kids know, hey, I got to put these here safety things in place. It ain't about me not trusting you. Ain't about none of that. And then if you can't do that, then you need to talk to your job about opening a daycare at the job, or you need to take your child to the job. Talk to your boss. Take your child to the job. You got to do what you got to do, because it's a lot of marriages that's suffering because of one or both of the people in the marriage having childhood trauma from being left at a friend or family member's house and being molested. And now life has never been the same. Some people become very promiscuous and some people become very reclusive. It typically take people one end of the spectrum or the other. And from us playing house, for me, it made me promiscuous. From playing house as a kid, being left to ourselves, it made me promiscuous. For some people, it made them very reclusive. They don't like sex. They don't want to be touched. They not a sex person. They don't want to do none of that. They not really into that. And then some people, that's all they want. They might become a nympho. Something like that. Now, I eventually regulated. I got regulated, and I wasn't never to that, point where it was crazy, where I ain't want marriage and I had to watch porn. I never watched porn. None of that. Been looking for my wife since 16. Found her at 21. So mine didn't go that far, but when you see a lot of these men to where they don't want marriage, they got to sleep with 3 women a day, every day. They got to be out here. They got to watch all the porn. They got to do all that. A lot of time that comes from what happened to them as a young boy or as a young girl. And we got to open up our eyes. We got to be honest about the situation. We got to stop taking offense and feeling like that everybody who is making this point is homophobic and full of hate. And we got to realize the spiritual element in this, and realize if we were impacted and confronted by a demonic spirit, we got to be open and honest about our experiences to see. Just like the young lady who used to be a lesbian, now she's straight. But then you see the Jackie Hill Perry. But then you see her put her head all on Megan Ashley and hugging all close and spending all kind of time, doing all this laughing. And it's like, listen, you can't do all that with a woman if you used to be gay. You need to be only with your husband and only with him and his homeboys. You can't have no female best friend when you struggle with the spirit of lesbianism. You setting yourself up for failure, to where even if you don't physically go to eating on that woman or vice versa, you're going to fall in love spiritually, because that spirit is still knocking on your door. And that spirit gets so bold that it will have a former lesbian hugging and all huggy, chummy with a beautiful woman in front of the whole world, and knowing that we all are looking and thinking, are you attracted to her sexually? And I told Megan Ashley that. I said, you better be careful, because you obviously don't understand spirits. Because when a spirit get a hold of somebody, you resist the devil and he shall flee. But that don't mean he flee forever. He flee for a season, and he coming back. He is coming back to test you. He testing me right now. Let me tell you how he testing me. I'm posting my messages on Instagram. Instagram is taking and showing me my notification. But guess what? The most beautiful women that I've ever seen in my entire life, anytime they like my post, Instagram show me Miss Pretty 123 liked your post. They show me her by herself, and they have a ring around her picture. So naturally, me being a networker, me being on there, me, human nature knows it. You click it to say, well, who is this like my post, and why is Instagram showing me this person by themselves? They must have a lot of followers, or they must be special, because it'll show you priority. And then everybody else, it might say John Doe and 99 others like your post. But then sometimes it always have about 4, 5, 6, 7 people at the top that they show by themselves. So the purpose of social networking, you want to network, connect, build your network. So I click on every name, whether it's male or female. I click on it to read their bio, to see who they is. Guess what? These women that I'm seeing don't even look real. Like, they don't even look like a real person. Like, it looked like AI. But I know it's not AI, though. I could see it. I could see it's not AI. I know what AI look like. But these women don't even look real. It's like, and you know they got a story to tell. Like Kanye say, the prettiest people got the ugliest stories or something like that. Or the prettiest people be something ugliest, whatever. So I know they got a story to tell. So while the devil trying to tempt me, the Lord right there ministering to me. He said, no, that ain't what you want. That ain't what you want. Don't fall like sunset. Don't fall like sunset. Don't fall like sunset. And guess what? But guess what though? Don't now want to reach out to me. Don't now want to reach out to me. And that's where God showed me how the devil is a lie. Because men say that women hit on you more when you married. Guess what? These beautiful women that's liking my post, now one of them are reaching out to me. Now one of them writing me to say, hey, you so handsome. Hey, whatever. You know why? Because they see I'm married and they respect marriage. So that also lets me know, for one, I know I'm not an ugly man, but I know I ain't nobody pick. Like, I know ain't no woman lusting over me. But I know I'm not unattractive, and I know that when you got status, when you got influence, when you got a little bit of money, you don't have to look all that. You ain't got to be 6'4". You ain't got to be all of that. Look at Kevin Hart. He 5'4". He got a beautiful wife. You ain't got to have all that when you got a little money, you got a little name, you got a little charisma, you got a little whatever. So I know I ain't got to look like like I just stepped out of a magazine to get no woman. But guess what? Now one of them women hitting on me. And I'm going to tell you something. So this where I get to see, oh, so this brother here that divorced his wife and got with this other woman, he had to make a move. He had to make a move because he don't look better than me now. I don't know what good looking look like, but I know what ugly is. And not say that these men be ugly, but it's like, listen, okay, my nose ain't bigger than his nose. My lips ain't bigger than his lips. My eyes ain't too far apart. My eyes ain't too close together. Like, when I can just go feature for feature, I'm like, we ain't too far off now. I I know I don't look like the bottom of a shoe, and he looking like he just stepped out of a magazine now. So if he left his wife and was able to remarry to this celebrity or to this millionaire or to this influencer or to this whoever, he had to make a little move. He had to make a little move, because if all the women just throwing themselves at the man, then I would be experiencing women throwing themselves at me. And there is no women throwing themselves. At the most, they might write me the same way I write people when they follow me. They might write me and say, thank you so much, Tony, for your encouragement, for being here, what have you. Thank you. And you can't, no matter what you do, you're going to be judged. So when I only followed my wife, people was like, oh, you arrogant, you stuck up, why you only follow your wife? This is a networking site and all of that. So then now, when I follow my clients back and I follow influencers back who follow me, oh, why you following these women? Some of these women, they're pretty. Why you all there? So you can't even get away with it. And sometimes what happens is, what I feel in my spirit, if a woman is an influencer and she follow me, she might have some pictures that might be a little, whatever, and I see her page, and then I see Bishop R.C. Blake's follow. And I be about to follow her back as well, but it's because she got over 100,000 followers. And I'm like, I know people gonna judge but the way we be thinking is we want to be a resource. We want to influence influencers, and we don't want to judge this man or this woman. So it's guys I follow that are absolute hot messes. I mean, they hot messes. And then there's women who always posting a picture, and it's not a nude picture, but just always a selfie. And it's like, our goal is to reach the lost. Our goal is to influence the influencers. But guess what? There's also room for the devil. Now on Twitter, I remember I just went and clicked follow on so many people. Then the next thing I know, I'm on my timeline and I realize I'm following back. Not me following, I'm following back. Male porn stars, female porn stars. I almost throwed up on myself. One time I'm on my timeline and I realized I hadn't clicked follow back on a male porn star. Man, do you know people probably went to his page because they watch him on the porn and seen that I was following him and probably thought that I was following him and looking at his content and stamping him and indulging. And I literally I had so many followers, I was only following 25 people, but I had over 50,000 followers. So I just went one day and I just clicked follow because I got tired of hearing people talk about I'm arrogant, because I didn't want to follow people, because I really didn't want all these people on my timeline. Like, I don't care to know people and meet people other than networking, but people go to judging you. Oh, you arrogant. Oh, you there. So then I just started following people, and next thing you know, I didn't even realize that porn stars follow me. Like, why are you following me? Like, I'm a man of God. I'm preaching all day, but they be in this place to where they be in their darkness and like a little bit of light. They be in their debauchery and like a little bit of righteousness. And it's the most confusing thing to me. And then I get hired by some of these porn stars for coaching. Some of these strippers for coaching. Some of these escorts for coaching. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you hiring me? You don't want to change. You not ready to get off that pole. Why are you hiring me? And you know what they be doing? They're not shooting their shot. They positioning themselves to see if the God in me is real. They want to see if I'm just like every pastor they done met, every other male claiming Christian they done met. And that's where God uses me at. That's where God uses his true servants. When I'm coaching a gay man, when I'm coaching a lesbian woman, when I'm coaching a stripper, a porn star, and I don't step outside of righteousness, I don't shoot no shot, I don't give in to what they living in, that's how they see the glory and the testament of God. And so that's what God calling us to is, yes, walk in love, but at the same time, call a thing a thing. Call a spade a spade. Call a spirit a spirit. Address the spirit. so that it could be called out, so that they could recognize it and they could realize that you could recognize it. When they realize that they no longer hiding and that the spirit that's in them could be seen, whether it's an adulterous man or woman, a whatever, homosexual man or woman, when they realize like, whoa, this is, you mean you could see this on me? Whoa, you mean you could see the origin story without even knowing me? Like, you know that I was touched as a child, or I was exposed to pornographic images or videos, or like, how did you know that? How could you tell that? I thought that nobody could see that. God must be real. You must know God. You must, just like when the demons came, they say we know Jesus. And we know, was it Paul? But who are you? See, demons know. The spirits know. Spirits know spirit. That's why it's so many gay men that's in position, like pastors, athletes, whoever, and they don't bother me. They don't call on me. They don't try to meet me, because they see ain't none of that in Tony tank. Tony ain't getting down. Tony don't move like that now. Tony be to knock all your teeth down your throat. You step out of line with him. You're not finna be able to grab no handful of Tony Gaskin booty cheek and live to tell about it. Nah, he might pray for you at your wake, and pray that you repented before you took that last breath. But you're gonna have to pay a price. See, spirits know spirits. They could tell who. So they shot at certain people. And that's why you'll see some of these men who got a wife and got kids, and you'll see their armor bearer, or you'll see their friend, and their friend be real. Just how when Shannon Sharp used to hang with the gay stylist and was sitting there by arm in arm courtside. It's like, all right, now I'm saying, you ain't fooling nobody, boy. But you ain't fooling nobody. But we already know, because we done seen what you did that woman booty hole without her permission, and you had to pay that right there. So that let us know how freaky you is. So if you that freaky to pluck somebody off a pole, to pluck somebody off OnlyFans, now you think you finna convince us to believe you wasn't doing nothing with that little gay man that you taking courtside, spending that kind of money on, or giving that kind of money to, because that ticket is expensive. So you think we finna believe y'all ain't had nothing going on? And when he keep innuendoing on Instagram like he got so much to say and he can't say it because of NDAs, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. You see what I'm saying? You'll be like what you be around. And these spirits know who to try. Because guess what? I knew a man who he used to talk to me all the time. I had no clue. The man sleep with men. But I would think it's strange, like, why is this strong, muscular athlete talking to me all the time, and he the only one that be calling me for all this advice? So I just thought something was a little interesting. And I started to get a little suspicion, but I could not prove nothing. Guess what? After he and I stopped talking, lost contact and all of that, it comes out he sleeps with men. I say, wow. Here go my wife with her jokes. Uh-huh. So he was grooming you. I used to wonder why he called you all time of day and night. Ooh, he was grooming you. Uh-huh. Well, you got anything to tell me? I'm like, woman, will you? I say, do not try me like that. You need to stop playing now. You trying me. Listen, I'm going to support you. You got anything to tell me? I say, for one, you would not support me. And two, you trying me like a baser. Listen, I'd have took that man life. You hear me? And so I realized, I say, you know what? The man never tried me, though. He never tried me. And you know why? Because spirits know spirits. He got close enough and he got in proximity, but then he could tell that I really walk with the Lord, that I am who I say I am, that I really love the Lord, that I am not no down low man. So the man never tried me. And so that proved to me right there, when these guys go and befriend certain men, like publicly, and they out, when the men is out and they befriend certain men, or they hang around or they with certain men all the time, I say, they know what they trying to do. And then guess what? I remember seeing a guy. He was in my client, K. Michelle, the R&B singer. He was in her video. And she used to love her, this man was named Kerry Rose. And he was like, I guess like a pretty boy, like a sex symbol. And she used to love her, that man. And that always kind of made me, because a lot of times women don't like pretty boys, like the guys who just try to be too pretty. And I hear a lot of women say that they don't like that. They like a man a little rough around the edge, a little more masculine. But she was really into the man. And so I was a little suspect. I was a little suspect, but did not think the man was gay. Come to find out, he got in a relationship with Shannon Sharp, ex-stylist. And then the next thing you know, Shannon let go his stylist of all these years and hired this little gay man. A straight man is not going to hire no gay man to come in his close quarters, in his vicinity. No out man. He might hire a man who is in the closet and he don't know the man in the closet. But as a straight man, I would never hire a gay man, because I know how the heart works and I know how lust works. So I'm not fixing to hire someone to come in my vicinity who want to enter my exit, who enters the exit of men, and then have him round me while I'm bending over to pick up paper, and I'm walking around and I'm sweating, and I got on my basketball shorts, and it's form fitting or whatever, and all that right there, and the man is into the backside of men. I'm not finna hire no man that is into the backside of a man. I'm not finna do that. So so when a man hires a publicly gay man, that tell me about that man. That let me know that man is gay. Even if he got a girlfriend, even if he got a wife, even if he say that man is gay. Point blank period. You not finna introduce somebody who sleep with your kind of the same sex. You not finna introduce that around you if you not into that. That's why men hire women, because men is into women. So if a woman is into a man, men is into women, so he'll hire a woman. But a man who not into men not finna hire a man who into men, because it's a possibility that anybody that's close quarters for you, male or female, if it's a woman and she like men, she could start to like you. You already know the chance that you taking by having a woman in close quarters. So if it's a man who like men, you already know if he in close quarters, he could start to like you. That's just common sense. That's common sense. So that right there, and you starting to see more and more and more of that. I think they were saying Barack Obama, head of security, was gay. It's a gay black man. I don't know if that's true. I need to look back into it. But then now, a lot of people starting to say, then Barack Obama said, these boys need to have a gay male mentor, like he had a gay male mentor. Huh? Barack said out his mouth now. There ain't no rumor. I listened to him say that out his mouth. And then somebody said that Michelle Obama's brother is in the community, that he gay. Now, I did not know that, never thought that, but then after it was said and I looked at a picture, it's like I could see it on him. So I need to look back into that to see if that's true. Because if that's true and Michelle grew up around that, then she'll be comfortable with that if Barack got a little bit of that in him. I don't know if he do, though. I'm not alleging that he do. That's just what the people is saying. So it's like, but I know I voted for Barack because he come out of the strict Christian church in Chicago. So I voted for Barack, and I know as soon as he got in there, he didn't even get to take the slippers off in the bedroom before he approved gay marriage. I say, what in the world? I say, they know how black people is about gay stuff. Like, black people, that's why a lot of black people is down low, because you can't come out just all easy for the longest. Now it's more and more acceptable. So for one, I say they know how black people is. Two, they know how Christians is. So now you got, and three, they know how men are. So now you got a black male Christian, and this who y'all choose to have approved gay marriage. Why you ain't let Bill Clinton do it? Why you ain't let George Bush do it? Why you wait till the quote-unquote first black president get in to now y'all want to push that agenda? And he supposed to be a devout Christian out of Reverend Wright Church in Chicago. So then it make the stuff look true. It make it look like, oh, well, maybe Barack is into all that. Maybe he do get down because he went in there and approved it. They were saying he was gay before he got in. A lot of people in Chicago saying that. Now he come out his mouth and say, boys need to have a gay mentor, knowing that that is a spirit, and that a gay man will be touching on that boy because he won't be able to control himself. A gay man will be hitting on that boy, just like Tyler Perry is allegedly hiring all of these men. Because I started to wonder, why do all of the men in Tyler Perry films look like models? Why do all these men have all symmetrical features without a single blemish, not a tooth out of place, not a bump on their face, like nothing is off? Why do Tyler Perry only, like, why he ain't never had a man look like Forrest Whitaker in his movie? Why he never had a man look like Morgan Freeman in his movie? Lawrence Fishburne, Debo. Why do all of his men in his movies look like GQ models? And why is he single and never married? As a millionaire. And then the next thing you know, here come the man come out and say, Tyler been pulling his pants down, grabbing his booty cheeks, hopping in the bed, rubbing all on him. I say, now this man know how black people get down now. If this man really finna come out and put his life on the line to attack a black giant with all lies, nah, that's a bold man, doesn't it? So that make you believe it, because you know how black people is and how we ride for ours now. You know you finna be blackballed from all the black movies after this now. All the movies. The white people might not even mess with you now. You taking a big, big chance to do a lawsuit that you could lose. So I'm like, it must be some truth to this. And then Christian Keys wasn't getting no work but Tyler Perry movies. And then he come out about a black billionaire who was sexual harassing him. So it's like, now who else have you been in proximity to that fit this description other than Tyler Perry? And then the next thing you know, all of a sudden it goes away and we don't hear nothing. We don't hear nothing else. Was some money dished out? You see what I'm saying? So this here spirit, and then we see what P. Diddy do. Then we see all the recordings. Now these recordings that was kept from Martin Luther King. So all the way back from Martin Luther King Day, they showing us black men and also the white men too, who getting it in with other men, but to the public, they are heterosexual. They married, or they got a child with a woman or with multiple women, but yet they doing stuff with men. That's spiritual warfare. So you got to understand, you got to be, and that's why this video is so long, because you got to really explain this stuff. You got to really talk through this stuff. And that's why, it's so long, because everybody ain't going to watch it. But you got to really, so this ain't for everybody, but I'm telling you, with your sons and your daughters, make sure that you protecting them and that you're not leaving them exposed to demonic spirits that can turn them over to something other than what God has called them to. In the name of Jesus, I'm praying for you and I'm wishing you the best. God bless you. Keep your head up. All the important links in the description. Make sure you grab your spot in the all access membership on Tony Gaskins Academy. All of my courses will be added to that all access membership. Our retreats will be announced to that group. Our live conferences, my discounted coaching sessions. Eventually, everything will be through that all access membership group. So even if you need to cancel your Blessed Tribe or cancel your Patreon to join the all access membership, I want you over there. The price you see today is the lowest you will ever see it. That will never go on sale, because that is going to be a legacy group that I'm building from now for the rest of my career. Every new course I do will be added to it, unless it's a special course outside of it. But it will continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger with the amount of courses. Right now, it's 70 plus courses in there that will literally change your life if you go through them and you do the work. Your life will never be the same. I believe that, because it's exactly what changed my life is what I'm sharing in them courses. Life, love, and business. The well-balanced life. This Tony Gaskins. God bless you. Keep your head up. We'll talk soon.